Television reflects cultural dash. You have a blank here. Influences culture. Okay. So the question is, which choice completes the text so that it conforms to the conventions of standard English? Option A, values full stop and it also. Option B, values semicolon, it also. Option C, values comma and also. Option D, values semicolon and it also. So first let's see exactly what are the clues that you have here in this particular sentence. So the first sentence, the first part you have here is television reflects cultural values. That's the first part, the first sentence, which is an independent clause. And the second independent clause you have is television influences culture. Okay, so the first part you have it is television reflects cultural values from the options you know. And the second part is television influences culture, right? So let us see what rule we have to apply on this case. Okay, so the rule that we can apply here is when you have two independent clauses can be joined by either using a full stop or a semicolon or a comma plus fanboys. Okay, so this is the rule. Two independent clauses can be connected either with a full stop or with a semicolon or with a comma plus fanboys. This is how you connect two independent clauses, right? So we are actually having two independent clauses here. The first independent clause, the second independent clause, right? So now we can go according to this rule and see which option would be the best one. Let's go to option A. Now option A tells us that television reflects cultural values, period, and it also influences culture. Now the problem with option A is that it uses a full stop here, but we know that when you want to connect two independent clauses using a comma plus fanboys, remember the comma will only work out if you are adding the fanboys here. So the problem with option A is that it has a fanboys conjunction, but it uses a period along with it. You should have used a semicolon along with it, right? So therefore option A can be eliminated. Let's go to option B. Option B says television reflects cultural values, semicolon. It also influences culture. Now both of these are independent clauses, right? Now as per the rule, you can clearly see that two independent clauses can be connected using a semicolon. It's perfectly acceptable to connect two independent clauses using a semicolon. So let's keep that on hold as of now because it sounds to be correct as per the rule. Let's go to option C. Television reflects cultural values, comma, and also influences culture. Now the problem with option C is that it's using the comma and the fanboys, but again the subject from the second independent clause is dropped. Okay, so when you're using the comma and the fanboys, you need to ensure that the subject is also along with the second independent clause. Without the subject, the second independent clause cannot happen. So in this case, option C is eliminated because there is no subject in the second independent clause. So let's eliminate option C. And option D, option D clearly states that it's using a semicolon and a fanboys conjunction. So the rule tells you that we had to use a comma plus fanboys to join two independent clauses, or a semicolon to join two independent clauses, or a period. Option D uses a comma plus the fanboys, which is totally not acceptable. So option D can be eliminated by the process of elimination. So we are left with option B, which is two independent clauses are connected to each other using a semicolon.